Marks. Yep. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. It's Tuesday, January 16th, 2024, and this is a regular meeting of the Moscow City Council. Julia,
Yes, let's stand if you are able and join me in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
great, thank you all. First up on the agenda tonight is the consent agenda, and this consists of items that have been previously considered by Public Works and Finance or the administrative committees, and broadly consist of items that are not controversial or are very routine in nature. And, oh, by the way, any item can be pulled by any member of the council for separate consideration.
He didn't look at me because I wanted to pull it. I was actually going to move to approve it.
Well, a good move.
I'll second whatever that was. I'm in.
Did you move?
Sandra,
Sandra did. Her.
so, okay, Haley,
Aye.
Sandra,
Aye.
Gina,
Aye.
Julia,
Aye.
Bryce. Aye. Okay, consent agenda is done. Next up, moving down are mayor's appointments. And tonight I have a few appointments. The slate is Sage Francetic, or Mexetich now, for the Fair and Affordable Housing Commission with an expiration date of December 31st, 2026. Stefan Yossi for the Moscow Arts Commission, expiring 12/31/2027. Jacob Wilson, Moscow Arts Commission, expiring 12/31/26. Eleanor Evans, Historic Preservation Commission, expiring 12/31/2026. And Sally Green, Parks and Rec Commission, expiring 12/31/2025.
Mr. Mayor, I move we approve the slew of commissioner appointments as presented.
Thank you.
Second.
And seconded by Sandra. Okay, Sandra,
Aye.
Gina,
Aye.
Bryce,
Aye.
Julia,
Aye.
and Haley.
Aye.
Okay, those folks are approved. And at this time, we generally take a moment or two for the people who are now our freshly minted commissioners. If you'd like to come up, podium, say hi, say a few words, anything on your mind, please feel free to do so. Don't forget to say your name at the first.
Thank you so much. My name is Sage Meketich. Recently changed my name just before the tail end of the year. I serve as a real estate broker in Moscow and Pullman areas, more broadly Latah, Nez Perce, and Whitman counties. And I'm the broker and owner of Blue Sky Real Estate as well as Green Grass Real Estate. Been a realtor now for about 8 years and looked very much forward to the opportunity to apply for the Fair and Affordable Housing Commission, something I care a lot about and have kind of been intimately involved in over the years. I've also helped Nils with some projects for the Moscow Affordable Housing Trust. So, yeah, it's just great to be more involved with the city of Moscow. And as a born and raised Moscow citizen, I look forward to continuing the work of the city of Moscow and the Moscow Affordable Housing Trust and Fair and Affordable Housing Commission. Excuse me, Fair and Affordable Housing Commission.
All the things.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I think
Thank
you're
you
a
for
good
your
fit for it,
service.
Sage. Rocket. Thank you.
Sage.
Thank you, Sage.
Hi there, I'm Sally Green. I'm a retired educator from Moscow. May have had some of your kids in school. And I'm a retiree with little time on my hands. And as a former athletic director, coach with the Moscow School District, I also worked for the Parks and Recreation when I came back here as a grad student, probably before some of you were born, about 40 years ago. And anyway, I'm just looking forward to doing some volunteer work in retirement, and the Parks and Rec Commission seemed like a good fit. So thank you very much.
Thank
We
you.
think so
Thank you,
too.
Sally.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
volunteering. we hoist you guys out here sometimes just so we can see the face behind the name afterward to be able to associate them.
Yeah.
So I'm Jacob Wilson. I grew up outside of Chicago, but I moved here for my MFA in creative writing. And I lived here for 4 years. In the past 2 years, I've mostly been in the UK working on a critical and creative writing PhD, but I am officially back as of September.
And a doctor now?
I am not a doctor yet, unfortunately.
Oh, sorry.
I'm in the write-up year, so I'm frantically finishing a novel over the next few months. But I'm excited to work with all of you and then get a chance to foster the arts community here. It's one of the best parts about Moscow. And I kind of got into a community group called Howl at the Moon, do a little spoken word and stuff in Wales, because the PhD program is a bunch of people who are older and have families or careers. So there wasn't much of a community. So it's nice to be here and have a chance to foster those kind of communities that are within here, because we have so much with the university. But now that I'm no longer affiliated, it'd be nice to kind of bring some other things in too. Yeah.
Awesome. Love it.
By the way, do you know Megan Cherry, our arts director, sitting right there?
I do.
Oh, very good.
Love it.
Well, thank you very much.
So
Thank you for
thanks
your
very much
service.
for volunteering. Let's see, and we don't have our other folks, but that's all right. Okay, next up is public comment in the mayor's response period. And for the next 15 minutes, divvied up into 3-minute segments, we invite the public to come up and tell us what is on your mind, what you're thinking. And you've got 3 minutes to do it. Just state your name and address at the beginning and keep it to items that aren't on tonight's agenda, nor pending before Planning and Zoning Commission or the Fair and, not the Fair and Affordable, the
Board of
Board of Adjustment. Thank you. Go.
Good evening. My name is Dan Ewert, 2187 Westview Drive here in Moscow. I've worked with many of you, but I'm the Vice President of IT and the Chief Information Officer for the University of Idaho. For the last 8 years, one of the best parts of my job has been supporting collaboration between the city, the county, and the university. And the success of the university and our mission is dependent on the services that the city provides to our students and faculty and staff. Police, fire, EMS, housing, utilities, the list goes on, and we really appreciate all your support in that area. But this is about way more than services. Our collective success is dependent on the type of community that we create together, and I'm really proud of that community, and I want to thank you for your role in that. But given this importance of this issue, my role at the university, one of my favorite roles, as I said, is to facilitate communications between the city and the university. And I'm always open to new ideas how to do this. And I hope for some of those of you who haven't worked with me very closely, you're willing to share anything, pre-agenda, whatever you want to share, and get input on that. We have bi-monthly breakfast meetings for information sharing. We work with ASUI on regular events, and we're improving coordination between the university and the city on major events so that we don't have overlap, and we're doing the best to support our business community that we possibly can through this. So to do all of this work, you're encouraged to go out and make relationships all across the university, right? But if you can't figure out what you need and you can't figure out who to talk to, I'm a great person to go ahead and start that. I'll get you connected to the right people and we'll get you the help you need, because our combined success is most certainly the goal here. So I know it wasn't exactly related to an agenda item, but I kind of think it's related to all agenda items in that way. So I look forward to working with all of you in the coming year, and I really want to thank you all for all that you do for our community. So thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Do we have any questions for Dan while he's
I have a quick question. I wonder if you would consider maybe once a quarter having a lunch instead of a breakfast.
I think we could do that.
Yeah,
That's
that
the
would
kind
be
of
awesome.
suggestions we're looking for.
I would love that because
All right.
I'm just not going to go to another breakfast.
You're
And I
not-
love y'all, but
You don't want to get up at 7 a.m.?
it's not
It's
getting up at
earlier
7.
than
It's getting
that.
up way earlier than that.
Gotcha.
So I would love to meet with folks once a quarter. If we could do a lunch, that'd be awesome.
Those are the ideas. Thank you very much.
And also,
Madam Clerk.
Dan, we are in contact with the president of ASUI, Tanner,
Yep.
to try to kind of establish a better communication and a better kind of conduit between students and city, and we're really excited about that potential
That is
partnership.
great. They're an
Yeah,
amazing asset and they love this community. So I'm glad that they're involved.
absolutely.
Well, thank you all very much. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Dan. Right then, Item number 4 is the Jackson and A Street mural. Megan Cherry talking about an RFQ.
Thank you. Good evening. So this is the mural at Jackson and A Streets. Just wanted to start with a little brief timeline, just to give everybody a sense of how long these types of projects take to develop. Obviously, we had the unfortunate removal of that mural in May of 2023. Now we're here at our hopefully approving this RFQ this evening, and then we will be moving through the selection process, the submission and selection process, and hopefully achieving installation by the end of September for both weather reasons and because it would be nice to achieve completion for the community as well. So these are the phases that we're anticipating for this project. The budget was developed based on research that was collected over the last couple of years. And these were mural projects from mostly communities in neighboring states or in Idaho. And so we compared the project scope and also the cost per square foot. Murals, like all of our other contracts, the cost is going up. So what we found was that murals were coming in at, in that $30 to $40 per square foot. We ended up setting a somewhat lower budget for this particular installation because we are providing some really nice preparatory and clear coat for the artist. So the artist does not have to handle any site prep, priming, or clear coat, and that significantly reduces the load. So by breaking that project up into parts, that the hope is that we can really achieve a great result with this budget. In terms of installation procedure, if you drive by that building right now, what you'll see is that it has been blasted. So the paint has been removed from most of the areas. There's a little overspray on the windows. That will be removed before the installation of the new mural. And so that's part of the surface prep. We have a local painting contractor who will also do a primer coat. And then the artist will come in and install the mural. And then after that, that same painting contractor will come back in and apply that anti-graffiti clear coat. Artist eligibility, this has been something that we chatted with the Arts Commission and Council and with legal pretty extensively. So the artists are 18 years of age or older. The piece that was the topic of a lot of conversation was that preference would be given to artists living in Latah County, Nez Perce County, or those who are Nez Perce or Coeur d'Alene tribal members. But then also there's that secondary preference for those from Asotin and Whitman County. And that's kind of in recognition that the arts ecosystem is broader than just the state lines or the borders of the city. And so it's hoping to give some preference to local folks. Another point that I wanted to make note of on this slide is that artist teams are eligible to apply. That's important because murals are often a team sport. But this is a way that folks who are interested in painting murals can learn from more experienced artists. So it's not to say that somebody who doesn't have experience with mural painting couldn't participate in this project. They might just participate as part of a team. Okay. And then finally, the creative part. So this is the project theme or description that was developed with advice from the Arts Commission. The Arts Commission provided 3 really key words that they felt fit this site and were important at this point for the Moscow community, and that's play, celebration, and transformation. And so they wanted the artists to really be thinking about those words as they are developing their thoughts for this mural design. And so that's kind of the primary point of reference for artists creatively with this project. And with that, I would be happy to take any questions.
Julia.
I have two questions. One, the first is, and maybe this might be for, I don't know, you or Bill. How much of this cost is being covered by the insurance we got from the damage to the mural?
We were approved to have 100% of the cost covered by insurance.
Awesome. And my second question is, did the old mural have that anti-graffiti clear coat on it?
It did.
It's just too much damage.
Yeah, and it was part of what we have going on, and this slide is perfect to illustrate what's happening. The anti-graffiti clear coat is a really important step, and at the same time, this surface that we have the exposed aggregate, if we do have graffiti, and the graffiti that existed on that previous mural was pretty extensive. I believe my instinct is that it was also a primer, so extra sticky, so it was pretty stuck in that exposed aggregate.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was just a
Yeah.
curiosity question,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, I just got one, and it's the same question I asked Megan during our last, what was it, Public Works?
Yeah.
What are we on? Public Works meeting. The previous iteration was water themed. Can you remind us, because this artist prompt will be different, the vision statement is different than what was the previous task in front of our artists. Is that right? They were meant to serve two different purposes. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's right. The conversation. So another thing that I'm glad you're asking that, because another thing that's important about this particular mural installation is that we're aiming it to last from between 5 to 8 years. That's important because paint, particularly on that west-facing building, it has a limited lifespan. There's no coating that's going to last forever. And so the idea is that, okay, if we're setting that expectation that it lasts for 5 to 8 years, that we have the opportunity to reevaluate at the next installation, at the next potential installation, right? And to say, all right, what are the words that are bubbling up now?
Mm-hmm.
But these were the words that were really important to the Arts Commission for the community at this moment.
And I think they did a great job with that word list. And if I remember right, the last mural was paid for in part by a grant that we got through a water conservation grant.
So no, it wasn't a grant, but it was funded by the water department as part of our water conservation program to build awareness of the water resource in the aquifer, but it served its usable life.
And it's also on our water building. So it made sense at the time. I'm really excited about the new vision. I'm sad that I had friends reach out and say they loved that previous iteration of the mural, and some folks who didn't like it as much. So it'll be fun to see what the artists bring forward. So thank you for your effort on this.
You're welcome. Thank you. And, one thing I would also mention with this project theme, there's a lot of space for interpretation here. An artist could select any one of the words on this page or in this paragraph and, open that up in ways that none of us can imagine at this point. So that's the exciting part, is getting to see how artists move with it.
Bryce.
Yeah, will you remind us when the application window opens and closes for artists?
Yes, it's likely to open in February. The Arts Department has a number of other things that are opening up this time of year, so we're just trying to thread it all in so that it makes sense, and we're allowing enough airtime for each thing. But we're anticipating February.
Cool, thanks.
Mr. Mayor, I would move we approve the RFQ and agreements as presented for the Jackson A mural.
And seconded by Gina.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thanks, Megan.
any further discussion? Nope. Okay, Julia,
Aye.
Gina,
Aye.
Bryce,
Aye.
Haley,
Aye.
Sandra.
Aye.
There we go. Excellent. let's move forward with the mural. Next up is replacement of ordinances and a resolution relating to the annexation of property located at 2216 South Main Street. Mike Ray has come to reveal all about this.
I'm not sure this is as exciting.
Nuts and bolts.
Sorry, Mike.
I love the nuts and bolts.
Exciting to me.
Good, good.
Well, thank you, Your Honor, Council. This is the replacement of two ordinances and a resolution related to the annexation of property located at 2216 South Main Street. I'm sure everybody is familiar with this property, fresh in everyone's mind. It was approved the second meeting in December of this last year, essentially is the west end of Founds Industrial Park. So the council approved, it was two ordinances and a resolution, and that was related to the annexation, comp plan, land use designation, and zoning designation, about an 8-acre piece of property located at South Main. City was subsequently contacted by Idaho State Tax Commission, who indicated that the legal description, which was provided by the applicant's surveyor, and it inserted into ordinance 2023-10, incorrectly listed Township 35, and it should have listed Township 39. So we use the same legal description given by the applicant within the two ordinances and the resolution. So we had to correct all those documents, and we've corrected those attached to the council's packet before you tonight, and looking for the council's consideration. Staff's recommendation is for the council to approve the proposed ordinance replacing 2023-10 under suspension of the rules requiring 3 complete and separate readings, and that it be read by title and published by summary. Approve proposed resolution replacing resolution 2023-28, and approve the proposed ordinance replacing 2023-11 under suspension of the rules. And I'd certainly be able to answer any questions if you had any.
Mr. Mayor, I just have one. I'm curious what the impact to staff time was for this. I'm glad we have been thorough and the tax commission is helping us get all our I's dotted and T's crossed, but I'm curious what the impact is to you all to help right the ship on this particular thing. Was it a significant staff bandwidth hit or just?
No, I mean, it took a few hours of staff time to get the correction ordinances prepared. But beyond that, we didn't have significant investment.
My mind immediately goes to root cause as we talk about a lot in the manufacturing world and just figuring what we need to do to make sure it doesn't happen next time. And would love to have saved you a few hours of staff time, but no further concerns for me.
No, we've talked about establishing an internal review process to make sure that we're reviewing the legals as they come in.
Love it.
To ensure they're correct. So.
That works for me. Thank you.
I move that we approve the proposed ordinance replacing ordinance 2023-10 under suspension of the rules requiring 3 complete and separate readings. And that it be read by title. Published by summary. Sorry.
It's exciting to get there,
There's a few
though.
more words.
I'll second it halfway through and now as well.
Very good. Okay, any further discussion?
We have to do each one separately.
Yep.
Okay, just making sure.
Haley,
Aye.
Julia,
Aye.
Sandra,
Aye.
Gina,
Aye.
Bryce.
Aye.
Okay,
Okay, this one's short. Ready?
so what's our number now?
It's number 1, 2024-01.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
That's good.
Wonderful.
That's good to be on that one, Julia.
So,
That's huge.
an ordinance of the City of Moscow, a municipal corporation of the state of Idaho, authorizing the repeal and replacement of ordinance 2023-10 to correct an error in the legal description and providing that land described in section 2 of this ordinance be annexed to the City of Moscow, providing that the provisions of this ordinance be deemed severable, providing for this ordinance to be in full force and effect from and after its passage, approval, and publication according to law. Boom.
I move that we approve the proposed resolution replacing resolution 2023-28.
Second.
Second, further discussion on that one? Great. Sandra,
Aye.
Julia,
Aye.
Haley,
Aye.
Bryce,
Aye.
Gina.
Aye.
Okay, good enough. Carry on.
I move that we approve the proposed ordinance replacing ordinance 2023-11 under the suspension of rules requiring 3 complete and separate readings, and that it be read by title, published by summary.
Second. That was awesome.
Taking no further discussion. Okay, Julia,
Aye.
Bryce,
Aye.
Sandra,
Aye.
Haley,
Aye.
and Gina.
Aye.
tremendous. 2024-2. An ordinance of the City of Moscow, Idaho, a municipal corporation of the state of Idaho, authorizing the repeal and replacement of Ordinance 2023-11 to correct an error in the legal description and providing for the rezoning of a 7.98 acre property described in Section 2 of this ordinance from agricultural forestry, AF, and industrial I to motor business MB, providing that the provisions of this ordinance be deemed severable, providing for this ordinance to be in full force and effect from and after its passage, approval, and publication according to law.
Love it.
That should pretty much do that one, I think. Come on, computer.
It was exciting, Mike. I was wrong.
Celebratory even.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. Well, just when you expect the network to do you good, it doesn't. Thank you. There's something to be said for paper. It's not dead yet. Okay, item number 6, restated city limits ordinance. Cody Riddle.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. This is actually the second step in fixing the minor mistake we noted, or the Mike previously noted. As you know, Idaho code requires us to adopt an ordinance and legal description and map of our new boundary if it changes over the course of the year. We did so again in mid-December that had that unfortunate mistake included. And so this evening we are asking that you repeal that ordinance, or ordinance 2023-12. It was invalid, and that it be replaced with the corrected ordinance and boundary map that was included in your packet this evening. Thank you. And you can do so we would recommend you do so under suspension of the rules requiring 3 separate readings.
Okay, I'm going to do it one more time.
Nice.
Woo,
See if I can
Julia.
get it smooth. Okay, I move that we approve the ordinance under suspension of the rules requiring 3 complete and separate readings, and that it be read by title and published by summary.
That was awesome.
Second.
Okay, I'm guessing no further discussion on that one.
Well, Mr. Mayor, I was just going to ask what size doghouse would I be put in if I hadn't asked for it to be read under title only? I'm kidding. Kidding.
Well,
Big.
Yeah, a big
gigantic.
dog or
Yeah,
doghouse. Yeah.
Just 3 more meetings.
Yeah.
oh God. Yeah, we could hear or you could just ask for the whole
Shebang.
boundaries of the city to be read out loud from here until next
wow.
week.
I won't do that.
But don't do that.
Julia made the motion. We're going with it.
Okay. Bryce? Aye. Julia?
Bye.
Sandra?
Aye.
Haley?
Aye.
Gina?
Aye.
Okay, great. 2024-03. I'm catching on. An ordinance authorizing the repeal and replacement of ordinance number 2023-12 of the City of Moscow, Idaho, to correct an error in the legal description and establishing and declaring in this ordinance the corporate limits of the City of Moscow, Latah County, Idaho, in accordance with the provisions of the laws of the state of Idaho relating to the establishment of the boundaries and the annexation of adjacent and contiguous territory, providing for repeal of any other ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict therewith, providing a severance and savings clause, and providing for this ordinance to be in full force and effect from and after its passage, approval, and publication according to law.
Where does that come from? That language that he has to read every single time? Is that
Forthwith.
code?
Hitherto.
So I don't know if the code cites that specifically, but ordinances have, so you're talking about the readings of the ordinances?
No, what
Language.
the language that Art has to say when we have a new ordinance in place. He always kind of does
The title block. So that's the title of the ordinance that we prepare that describes the content of the ordinance and
City.
and when it's to be effective.
Okay. I hear commonalities, and then at the same time, I'm like, who writes this?
Who talks like that?
Who
Lawyers.
talks like that? Now we know. Okay, thank you. It was just a point of clarification.
Yeah, so
And we appreciate our lawyers.
And not finger pointing like Julia made it.
So,
It's not finger pointing.
and Note also, there are not a lot of whereases in this one like there
No, but
are in
there's like a
proclamations.
heretofore or something
yeah.
like
There
that.
too,
So
yeah.
it's just,
Love it.
Yeah.
So we have to be able
Thanks,
to
Cody.
provide an
Thanks, Cody.
adequate summary, right? Capturing everything that's contained within and enough of a summary to put people on notice as to what the content is of the ordinance in full. And by passing it, waiving the reading, then we are agreeing to then read it by summary and publish it in accordance to law, because this ordinances aren't in effect until you've done the publication as required.
In the paper of record or however we call it. Right.
okay,
Cool.
awesome. Thank you.
Good clarification for
Well,
folks.
you learn something every day.
Okay, now we move on to reports. So Gina, it's you.
Okay, last council meeting was awesome and exciting, and I missed 2 of my meetings because we were here. So I had to miss fair and affordable housing and the tree commission.
Oh, no.
But I will go soon. There is I think, I don't want to read my phone here, but Pam Brunsfeld is giving a talk, and I'll send you guys the notice out. I'll make sure the city gets it too. She's talking about her trip through Arizona and New Mexico for the super bloom that happened this last spring. So it's going to definitely be something very, very cool. I'm not doing it justice right now, so I will share the information. Blue Space and Aquifer Committee is this Thursday, 2:00 at facility. So I will update you at the next meeting on that. Haven't done much other than that because I was braving storms on the Oregon coast for a week
How fun.
until the roof flew off of the house that we
Even
were
more
part
fun.
of it.
A little
Just
Wizard of
part
Oz.
of it. It was a little like, yeah, ruby slippers. I'll admit that. That's all, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sandra.
Right. Well, I got to sub in on one of the meetings for Gina, which was fun. I went to a fair and affordable housing and great discussion. They have voted in the same leadership as they had before. Feel free to look that up on the website. And really, they spent a little bit of time talking about planning for kind of their annual event where they bring folks in and talk about what can be done. I was really excited to see that group of people, good, solid people who care a lot about where people can live and how they can live. So I appreciate you allowing me to go to that. That was nice.
Thank you.
Got a chance to go to the Moscow Arts Commission meeting where we talked about the upcoming mural. Also remind everyone, Art Walk is this Thursday. Lots of different venues around town. Try to hit as many as possible. It's a fun night. I know it's going to be snow. I don't put on snowshoes, cross country ski. Call me if you need a ride. I mean, Art Walk's awesome. Spend some time there. I had Moscow Volunteer Fire Department. Things are just rolling along there. It was weird. I don't want to jinx anything, so I probably am, but it was something like an 18-minute meeting, which was really awesome.
Wow.
So that'll never, ever happen again. But it was great for a cold, kind of blustery evening. And then we had the 1912 development meeting where we looked over, we were handed out 3 different booklets because we're in the midst of picking an architect to do the 3rd floor. And more on that next time because we're meeting about once a week on that. So I think that's really exciting and I can't wait to see where that goes. And I'm looking forward to go to Historic Preservation Commission soon.
Cool.
I thought we had someone there, but you were Parks and Rec. That's why I looked over there for a second. I'm like, oh, wait, nope.
Sorry, did
Julia.
you say me? Yeah. Okay. So I went to Spain.
Lucky.
Okay. And so, yeah, I wasn't here.
That
But
tests the rest of us.
yeah, I could do this in Spanish if you want. No, I'm checking out. I'm not going to do it. Okay, I went to Sustainable Environment Commission today, which was awesome. They had Tim Davis come talk about waste, basically. Sorry. And he talked about the different things that the city has done recently that have been really helpful. The first is the auto return service for when the trucks come to try to pick up dumpsters downtown and they're blocked. So instead of just leaving it and then there's overflowing trash downtown, they have an auto return service. They come back within about 24 hours to empty the dumpster. So that's a good new program. He also talked about the U of I recycling program and that has been really successful, and he thought that it might expand. The commission asked a lot of questions about food waste composting programs and what the barriers were to creating a food waste composting, maybe pickup program in the city for residences and businesses. And the commission is planning on writing a letter to the council about that. And also I have to leave early because it just happens to be on the same night tonight. And they are drafting a letter to Home Depot to encourage them to use sustainable practices in their new building. So that will also cross council's desk.
And legals.
Yeah, everybody.
All the desks.
All the desks.
Yeah. Anything more?
Nope. That's
Spain.
Spain. I went to Spain. I don't think I
Hola.
didn't think about you guys because I
Public
did
transit.
a lot because of the roads and the sidewalks and I just kept looking at accessibility there because very not accessible. But also great public transit. So it's interesting. My daughter, I think, got tired of me pointing out that people with wheelchairs and walkers would not be able to go to those places.
True.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff.
Contrast, yeah. I attended my first Transportation Commission meeting as new liaison for that team last week. We got an update from Tony Bean on the airport, which will be exciting when we are actually flying in and out of the new space. They also worked, Cody did a great job leading a conversation, talking and sourcing ideas for how they want to set goals for 2024. A couple of the things which I really appreciated, someone mentioned trying to align our goals from the Transportation Commission with our climate action plan and tying it all together, which is cool to see. And let me look at my notes. There was, in a similar vein for transportation, there was meant to be a community workshop on Wednesday for ITD that got bumped to February 5th. It's a Monday from 10 to noon, where they'll be sharing kind of the aggregated information about their findings for Highway 95 improvements as well as Highway 8. And my guess is they postponed because it'll be all hands on deck for ITD tomorrow for the snowstorm. I've got Smart Transit meeting tomorrow. I have a soft launch update. We are rolling out, the team is rolling out the updated software that would incorporate live tracking for the buses, which is really exciting. It will start with the drivers and making sure we do some pilot testing. We'll probably do some more rider testing through the summer. We want to make sure we have all our ducks in a row, but expect a big launch come this fall. So it takes time, but we've got it. We're getting there. I've been really excited to see that come together. And let's see. I dropped off some treats and coffee to our streets department on Saturday. So please be kind to your snowplow drivers and make room for your city snowplow drivers as we gear up for what is slated to be a kind of a bonkers storm. Let me know if you guys want to drop off treats with me later this week. And I have two last notes. Next week, I think everyone except Gina will be in Boise for the Association of Idaho Cities Day at the Capitol, which will be hopefully really informative and beneficial for us. We'll hear directly from the governor, meet with our District 6. We're not 5 anymore, District 6 legislators. And so we'll hope for some positive momentum to fix issues that all cities of all sizes and towns in Idaho are facing. And then I was just going to make one last plug. I got the email today announcing the call for entries, another thing that Megan is working on in affiliation with the community development team for the farmers market call for posters. I don't remember when it closes, but it's one of the most, Bryce, are you on farmers market? Who's on farmers market? It's one of my favorite parts, getting to be the fly on the wall and getting to see all the entries with that commission. So I think the deadline is maybe the end of the month, but that's what I've got. Drive safe.
I'm glad to hear Smart Transit's not using the public to beta test software.
No, yeah, let's not. Let's not. Although I imagine if there are bugs to be found, it'll be the students who start using
Of
it.
course.
So
Bryce.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I attended my first Human Rights Commission today as City Council liaison to that particular commission. And a couple of things to note. This Saturday is the 2024 MLK Breakfast, which is sponsored by the Latah County Human Rights Task Force. And I was actually really encouraged to hear that there were 220 seats available and they've all been spoken for. So if you haven't reserved your spot, you're not totally out of luck because you can tune in via Zoom. So and Mario Pyle will be the guest speaker from the U of I. So yeah, I was encouraged to hear about that event this upcoming Saturday. And then also coming up in early February is the National Black Leadership Alliance. And that is on February 4th at the Kenworthy from 7 to 8 p.m. So kind of put that in the back of your mind. And then also the Human Rights Commission elected a new chair and a new vice chair. So the new chair of the Human Rights Commission is Aaron Agidius, and the vice chair is Elizabeth Stevens. So yeah, it was informative. I'm looking forward to being their liaison.
Okay. Didn't have too much. Back on the 8th, we had the State of the State address by the governor, previewing some of the legislation that may be coming up. And as Haley pointed out, we're trekking down there to speak with our legislators and see what might be forthcoming on us this session. Being an election year, it could be very interesting. Also, I was at the Transportation Commission also, and happy to announce that the terminal looks to be on the rails for a May 15th inaugural set of flights. The airport people are intent on making sure, once again, that we are not beta testing the operation on the public. So making sure that all the baggage stuff works right, that the airline people are trained, that the TSA guys are ready to go, things like that. Quite a bunch of complexity, but they've also got perhaps 80 to 100 people a day working on that thing right now. It is moving right along. And this morning was at the Legislative Action Committee on part of the Chamber of Commerce. And so we discussed some of the things that may be coming up legislatively that would impact the commercial businesses in Moscow. And that was it for me, kind of a quiet couple of weeks as far as things going on.
Don't get used to it.
Yeah. Anything from staff? Would be Bill.
Your Honor, sorry. I apologize. I was listening. It just took me a minute to catch up. No, nothing from staff this evening. I did send out just an email a few moments ago about some activities while we're down in Boise, so please review.
Yep. Okay, we're at the end of it.
I mean, we adjourn.
I second.
Third. Bunch of seconds also. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you all.